Prepare for the loading screen that will be your mind exploding from amazing gaming news. Are you expecting this? I bet you're not. Oh, let's do this.
Hi, and welcome to Respawn TV. This is a very special Respawn TV. First of all, we would like to congratulate the producer of Respawn TV on his engagement, Dylan Rainey. Congratulations.
I'm clapping silently so it doesn't screw up the mic.
Of Respawn TV. Moving on, I am Moose Bland, joined alongside by the great Brendan McKenna.
Hello.
And that's all he has to say for you. We have fantastic news this week from Watch Dogs. Not only do we have fantastic news about the engagement, it's not to me, so I don't care. I'm actually kind of bummed about it.
You're bummed about the engagement?
Yeah.
Why is that?
I'm selfish like that.
Oh, I see. You wanted to have Dylan all to yourself.
Yeah. So we should move on with Watch Dogs. It's actually an open world stealth game with the use of technological warfare. I cannot speak this week. So
technological warfare. So is it? It's involving, from what I've seen, hacking into various computers and cameras and figuring out ways to get into areas that you wouldn't usually, because in most games like Assassin's Creed, or I believe the other one was called Killer 7? No, some sort of thing that has Agent 7.
Oh, I have no idea what you're talking about.
I'm forgetting that. Blood Money.
Blood Money?
It's that's the subtitle. Anyway, usually in those games, you're brute force, and you're using a bunch of various weapons to kill off people without them seeing you. But this time around, you can hack into cameras. You can see where you're going. You can scan somebody and figure out how likely they will be to be mugged. Or, it's like I saw at one point there, they actually scanned a lady and it said, chance of being a victim in a crime, 23%. And it went up as this gang member came close to her, and you have to save her from that. So I'm not sure if you're playing like the hero or the villain in this situation, but that's an upcoming title that's going to be reworking how stealth works, because you're going to be thinking from a totally different angle. So,
well, being that it's so different from what we're used to with brute force and guns, it makes me almost wonder what the storyline will be like.
Yeah.
Like, are you like this government agent that...
It's almost like, I'm almost feeling like it's like Tron, where there's big computers that rule everything, and you have to figure out how to get into those.
Well, I'm guessing that a game like this, it has to be a step up from everything else, so it's going to be on the next-gen consoles November 19th, so make sure you check that out if that's your kind of thing, to where you like to be stealth. Like, I'm the brute force guy.
If you like stealth, but on top of that you like the idea of planning something out and figuring out a plan around that, being a little more strategic on top of being stealthy, this is a nice combination for you, and you should try it out. There's a 14-minute demo already you can find on YouTube real easy, and it shows some of the technological advancements that they have for it.
Yeah.
So,
see, this game is for thinkers. This game isn't for people who want to relieve some stress. This game is for thinkers.
Oh, you can relieve stress pretty well by thinking. I can tell you, as a Total War fan, that strategy game, you destroy entire countries via genocide using strategy.
Like that computer game where you make
where you make armies.
Yes, exactly. So
with the recent release that completely failed.
I'm sorry about that. Moving on to Grand Theft Auto Online was finally released.
I've heard about that.
Which it crashed on the first day at 9 a.m. our time.
Who expected that crashing on the first day?
That. It crashed on the first day. Well, me, I have not been able to enjoy it because my schedule is so hectic. But from what I know, you get to create your own character from the get-go. You do somewhat of a tutorial, and you are allowed to begin doing missions, as well as if you have your gang, then you can take that gang and just start to build upon that. And with your gang, you get to buy cars, rob, and everything in between. You get to interact with other players. So,
and a couple other things that are in there. I've heard that it's not just an online version of this because it also has a lot of content that isn't in the person game. Like there's a lot more interior of buildings because I've heard that in GTA 5 single player, it's been kind of restricted on what you can go into, the buildings you can go into, and even if you do, it's very closed, small areas.
Yeah.
They have it a lot more open when it comes to inside buildings for GTA Online.
And there's so many more places to buy. You can buy condos. I remember seeing just from the demo, not only do you get to buy those condos, but there's so many more. They allow so many more people to be online at once, and they have little blips like the Google Maps blips. So if you're in that condo, you can see every person that's there, and
and some people,
kind of amazing.
Some people may think that it's kind of cheap, the fact that you're getting content cut out, like the inside buildings or buying condos and all that, and it could have been in the single player. It probably could have been.
But then don't you think that'd have been too much for just one person though?
Yeah.
You need to expand the horizons for more people, since there'll be about 20 plus or 15 plus people on there at once. There needs to be more things to do.
Really? Just 20 people?
It may be more. I haven't really looked
Is this more local multiplayer or is it like a worldwide multiplayer? Okay, so could anybody like break into your home and steal all your stuff if they really wanted to? That's great.
Yes.
That could cause a lot of problems.
That's why you see a lot of people going around already creating these games, because if you have these games, you can rob a bank. And once you come out that bank, you never know who's sitting out there. Maybe, this gang sitting out there like, yo, we want your money. And it could be someone from Australia or wherever it may be. And, they can intercept that.
Right.
So,
I kind of wish, this is just me, if I were playing that game, I kind of wish you could choose whether or not you wanted to join the usual thing, which was be the criminal or the normal citizen, or you could be the cops and maybe hunt down the people.
I haven't been able to look into that. You never know.
That would be a nice option. I would hope that they would maybe go into that eventually. They could update it someday, but the idea that you could be either side would come, because as far as I can tell, it's going to sound like it's going to be like a crime-ridden, everything blows up all over the place thing. And it'd be great to have a side that's like, we got to stop it.
Stop this.
Yeah, and I've always liked that type of game.
Maybe that's something that we should, we
should just pitch that forward. I'm sure they'll listen to us, won't they? Won't you listen to us, please?
But here are a couple of tips for not absolutely sucking at this game. One, do not go in alone. I don't know if you guys ever see me around here trying to get people in my gang, but, I do not want to be that person that's just like, if you go there alone, you're more likely to be messed with by a group of people unless you're
super secretive, maybe.
Yes, or Rambo.
Yeah.
So, or you buy the car with the James Bond gun. Bond guns.
Like you might have a secret cave of all your treasures and stuff that nobody knows of but you, or something.
I would just also be organized. If you are not organized, as in hey, planning these heists out and planning out this, and this, and not really being prepared for what may happen, then you're bound to lose, especially being that in online you can get money different ways. So if you do have that money, people can kill you.
I'm fearful about this game. If people just can openly go into your home and steal stuff from you and steal your money and things, that's going to get people really addicted to this game. They're going to be on it 24/7.
People are already addicted to this game.
Yeah, but imagine that you are forcing yourself to play because you are fearful that someone's going to break into your home and steal all your cars and stuff.
I don't think that it's allowed like when you're not online.
Okay, because if that happens,
I don't think it's not allowed when you're not online. That would just like kind of take it over the top. But
if it pulled some Animal Crossing thing where you come back a week later and you find out the entire town's been overrun by weeds and people are upset with
Skynet has taken
all your
over.
Stuff's gone. And Skynet. Because that happens in Animal Crossing.
That's exactly what happens. Skynet. But all in all, Grand Theft Auto Online should be fantastic. The record for beating the regular game was 2 days. So I imagine that people will be online like there is no tomorrow. You want to introduce the next pack coming up?
Next up, we have the G-Files Declassified by Alyssa. So let's see how it goes, huh? Yeah.
The Sega Genesis is a 16-bit video game console that was released in 1989 in North America. The Genesis was the first of its generation to achieve notable market share in continental Europe and North America, where it competed against a wide range of platforms including both dedicated gaming consoles and home computer systems. The consoles began production in Japan in 1988 and ended with the last new licensed game being released in 2002 in Brazil. Although firm sales figures were never published, the Genesis is Sega's most successful console. Licensed third-party variations of the console are still being produced to this day, and there are also several indie game developers continuing to produce games for the console. Many games have been re-released in compilations for newer consoles, offered for download on various online services. In 1993, Sega started the Sega Channel service using cable television services Time Warner Cable and TCI. Up to 50 titles were available per month through the service, as well as demos for upcoming games. Games were downloaded to the system's internal RAM and would be deleted every time the console was powered off. Eventually reaching up to 250,000 subscribers at its peak, Sega Channel ran until July 31, 1998, past the release of the Genesis successor, the Sega Saturn. Some of the most famous Genesis games were Sonic the Hedgehog, Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter, Aladdin, and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: The Hyperstone Heist.